highly encourage you to watch prior videos on YouTube regarding how I initially introduced 42 USC in a manner that discourages people for very good purpose. Watch those series of video. One of them basically says that 42 USC does not stand alone, and because of that you cannot enforce 42 USC. Another basically says it does not hold any private parties liable, and it's not enforceable because it doesn't bring private right of action. And then there's another one. Actually watch these videos first so that you see the downside to it first before you start to look at the ways that it could possibly work. Again, as most videos that I make, I deliberately put forth the things that they will use to shut you down first, so that you see that first as a caveat before you begin to step into the solution. So watch those other videos first. As discouraging as it may be, watch them so you have a very diverse awareness. Now, those who might only have those videos in their mind as an isolated perspective before these things that we'll be going over subsequently, they might think that's the end all be all, but it is not. Or they might even be discouraged. If they are discouraged, then that should encourage them to go look deeper into how it could possibly work or why it could possibly work. You may ask, well, why do you do these things like this? That's because with things of this nature, there's so much misinformation that's been passed around that gives people half information, and people run with that half information and get their butts kicked and make everyone else look bad. And also, believe it or not, the way that information is initially introduced to people in a discouraging manner is precisely how the opposing end will talk to you and introduce the information to you. Train your mind to accept refusal, because the world is not unicorn and rainbows. Beautiful people, this is very specific to those with child support or anyone who other parties are coming to and saying, all right, man, all right, woman, pay us or else we'll take something from you. Pay us or else we will do something to you. I'm not trying to incite any negative emotions in people, but what I do intend to do is have whoever is listening to this, which this may be applicable to ask this question. And if it's not applicable to you, show it to others who it is. Under this thing called civil rights, a lot of people know about anyone doing any act against color of law, but this thing called civil rights extends in so many deeper levels to so many aspects of life, and is under each title. Some of it extends to voting, some of it extends to education, some of it extends to specifically employment, some of it extends specifically to the use of things rightfully in public places, such as that whole C-19 thing. A lot of civil rights violations took place, but those are just examples to let you know this thing called civil rights and the color of law a lot of people speak of, not much of an in-depth knowledge of it exists. Let's start digging at it a little bit. One of those in-depth knowledge of it, presuming you know the foundation of why it works and how it doesn't work, that we've been going over in many videos, and the importance of how to and why to tether it to the Bill of Rights, which we've gone over in many videos, presuming you know those foundations. You have all the tools ready to go. When it comes to any form of debt collection, it's something called peonage. Peonage is just another fancy legal word for slavery. This is Black's Law 2nd edition, page 900. Peonage, the state or condition of a person as above defined. As above defined refers to a debtor. When you hear people say, oh, you're a peon, or they refer to others as peons, they're saying you are a debtor. They're saying that man or woman is a debtor. A peon is a debtor. A peon is a debtor held by his creditor in a qualified servitude, meaning there's a reason why that man or woman is being enslaved. Servitude is just another kind word of saying someone is a slave. But, there's a reason for it. It's not cruel and usual. It's a kind word of saying you're a voluntary slave to work out of debt. You hear people justify debt by saying, well, there are different types of debt. There's one where, you can work for us until you pay off this debt, like you see in the Bible, like you see in religious texts all over the world. And in some countries, they still do it till today. A peon is a debtor, but specifically a voluntary slave. So you see now how they use the word debtor synonymous with a slave. No wonder most people run after being creditors. Or at least I hope they realize one of the reasons why they're running after being creditors. So now, peonage, which is the condition relating to this term, peon. It elaborates that peonage is a state or a condition. Whenever you see this suffix age in front of anything, it just refers to the condition. Basics of English language. The state or condition of a peon, as above, which you've just read. A condition of enforced servitude, meaning regardless of whether you're doing a voluntary or not, there's still some form of force. There's still some sort of condition involved whereby if you don't do it, something else will occur. The everyday man goes to work, wake up, mind his own business because he probably loves doing his job. He probably enjoys and finds fun in serving humanity. But then there are other conditions attached to that whereby, someone is saying, yeah, we know you're making some monies. In fact, we have all this information. You've either voluntarily provided it or we've obtained it unlawfully. And we know that because you're making this amount of monies, we're now going to dig into your pocket, whether directly or indirectly, which what we're about to read relating to the 42 USC speaks of a direct or indirect intervention of debt condition through servitude. Directly will be forms of debt collection, child support cases, whether it's through some type of quasi-judicial court order or through some type of private contract that most people in child support have signed. Those are direct form of forced servitude. So now that which you normally would do to go on some type of leisure activity or to take care of yourself, that money that's meant to go to you now is now going to someone who's forcing you. Now, if it's for bills, we can say, there's an even exchange of service. Okay, cool. They're serving you one way or the other and you're compensating them. All right, okay, let's just look at it from that angle. What about someone like child support? What service are they really providing to you? What service are they really providing to your child? What service are they providing to that other party that's a man or a woman who has put you under their child support? Think about that for a moment. Or any other type of debt collector is saying you owe us something. What service are they really providing? What about someone like child support? What service are they really providing to you? What service are they really providing to your child? What service are they providing to that other party that's a man or a woman who has put you under their child support? Think about that for a moment. Or any other type of debt collector is saying you owe us something. What service are they really providing? What about someone like child support? What service are they really providing to you? What service are they really providing to your child? What service are they providing to that other party that's a man or a woman who has put you under their child support? Think about that for a moment. Or any other type of debt collector is saying you owe us something. What service are they really providing? If it's a vehicle or a house, we've been speaking in the past as to what makes a valid consideration, the details and intricacies that they're not telling people as to that agreement that they're engaging in, and what invalidates it. Well, take all those basics and think, what service are they providing to you that balances the equation of servitude? Otherwise, it is just one-sided where you're constantly waking up every day, every hour, every moment. Your health is dwindling. Your mind is getting a little bit more harsh and rash. You're getting older every day, yet here you are constantly working just to go hand it to someone else. That's called forced servitude. Although it is nonetheless voluntary because you're voluntarily doing the job, and because without them in the equation, you will voluntarily do the job anyway because you probably love doing it, and that's how you make money. Then to step into the equation and turn that into a forced servitude, because if you don't give that money of yours to them, if you don't give your labor to them, if you don't give your time to them, if you don't give your health to them, because that time and energy that you're spending to get those monies to give to them, those monies are just a physical manifestation of your time and health that you're now handing to them. They're saying something is going to happen to you, or they're going to do something if you don't give it to them. That is forced servitude. The state or condition of a person is above defined, a condition of enforced servitude, by which the servitor, aka the peon, aka the debtor, aka the one who's compelled to perform, aka the obligor, by which the servitor is restrained of his liberty and compelled to complete 26-minute video is on the Patreon page. Take care. Best of luck.